Thank you, Ugo and Janet and all the other Restart Project people for organizing this very inspiring event. It's wonderful to see so many like-minded people together in one room. And for me, it's an honor to be here today to be able to tell you something about my work at the Repair Café Foundation, which is all about trying to minimize waste, trying to use resources responsibly, and trying to connect people in a new and inspiring way. This is Repair Café. It's a free repair meeting organized by and for civilians on a voluntary basis. It's usually very much fun. You learn about repairing, you have a chat, you have a cup of coffee, and as a reward in the end, you go home, in many cases, with an object which is no longer broken but can be used again. Repair Café addresses a problem that many people in the Western world will recognize. Things break, and when they do, many people don't know what to do. They don't have repair skills, they don't have tools, and they don't have time to focus on the subject. On the other hand, at the same time, there are still some people in all communities who do have these skills and the tools and the time. And usually these people are so fond of tinkering that they're more than happy to help. So the idea is that they gather once a month or once a week at the community center, bring their tools, and then the people from the neighborhood show up with broken items and they sit with the expert and they try to fix it together. I thought up Repair Café 8 years ago because I found it shocking how many products are thrown away every day. Products that, in my opinion, are not waste at all, but just need a fix. And I wondered, why do people do this? Now, the answer is simple. It's because the economy stimulates this kind of behavior. You know, new stuff is available everywhere and it's not so expensive. So this makes it more attractive to buy something new in many cases than to have the old item repaired. Now, economically, that's understandable, but of course it's not sustainable at all. For this causes us to throw away products far too soon and to use way too much of our natural resources. Also, we use a lot of energy producing new stuff, which causes huge amounts of CO2 to be emitted, which in its turn leads to climate change. Now, we all agree that this is not good, so I thought this needs to change. And I wanted to make repair attractive once more. This is what many people think about repair. It's difficult, you can't find a repair guy. If you find one, he is expensive, and moreover, repair is dirty, it creates noise and dust, and it's boring. Well, my own idea is quite different. In my experience, repairing is a very positive thing to do. And it need not be difficult, it is often easy. And it can be fun when you do it together with an expert. And when this expert is a volunteer, then it's also cheaper than buying a new product. So I started thinking about this, and that's how the idea of Repair Café gradually came up. And I talked about it with many people, and I decided to test it in practice once. So I rented a room in this building in Amsterdam, which was a theater at the time. And I approached friends and craftsmen from the neighborhood, and I collected tools and asked around. And I wrote a press release, sent it to the media, and I set everything up on the 18th of October in 2009. And that morning, I just hoped for the best. I had no idea if anyone at all was going to show up. But luckily, soon after we opened, the first people started to come in carrying bags and stuff and asking if they had come to the right place and if this was indeed the Repair Café. Well, it was, and that's how it began. We had a seamstress, we had a carpenter that day, we had some guys from a computer club, we had 2 bicycle repairers, but all day people were queuing for this guy on the left, who was the only one repairing small electrical household appliances. And he was well, he didn't have time to take a break all day, so I brought him coffee and sandwiches, and I tried to keep him happy, but he kept working all day. He repaired video players and toasters and kettles and sewing machines and electrical toothbrushes and lamps. And all day everyone was so happy with the opportunity to have things fixed, to have their precious broken items fixed, and with the help that they received. And altogether the atmosphere was so positive that for me it was clear at once that I had to go on with this idea. And after the first Repair Café, many people approached me and asked me, they said that they wanted to do something like this in their own community too, and couldn't we have some coffee someday so that I could give them advice? And well, I wanted to, but there were so many people asking me this that I couldn't possibly have coffee with all of them. So I started thinking about a way to be able to advise more people at the same time to do this. And that's when I started the Repair Café Foundation. And I thought up a way to go about this so that repair help could really become available around the corner. I wrote a manual on how to start your own Repair Café, guiding you through all the stages of organization, from finding volunteers to selecting a venue to creating a safe working environment, etc., etc. And gradually this manual developed into a starter kit which contains lots of additional documents as well. For instance, posters to decorate the room, and a registration form that the visitors can fill out to indicate what they're bringing and what's wrong with it, and a ready-made press release that you can send to the media, etc. That was 8 years ago. At this moment, the starter kit is available in 7 languages, and it can be ordered from the website repaircafe.org. It's a digital starter kit, so you can download and print it and use it to set up your own Repair Café in your community. And this has so far led to 1,360 Repair Cafés in 33 countries around the world. Most of them are in the Netherlands and neighboring countries like Belgium, Germany, France, and the UK too. And a growing number is in the United States and in other countries like Australia, New Zealand, Turkey, and even in Japan. And I'm still amazed at how many people worldwide like to get going with this concept. On the other hand, I do understand why people like it, because a community repair event, whether it's be called a Repair Café or a Restart Party or a Fix-It clinic, it's not only a useful activity, but it's actually fun as well. You meet people from the neighborhood, and there is always something to do, always something to talk about. And like I said before, the atmosphere is always very positive and inspiring, as you can see in this picture from the Dutch city of Eindhoven, the local Repair Café there. I think you can safely say that making repairs together is a connecting activity. It connects people from different ages, different cultures. And trying to solve a repair problem together makes you look beyond the color of someone's skin, or their hair, for that matter. And it can work anywhere, everywhere. This is Repair Café in Ghana. And this is what it looks like in Palo Alto in the United States. And this picture was taken in Kortenberg, which is a small town near Brussels in Belgium. And this is in the Polish town of Piła. And what strikes me in all these pictures is that Repair Café looks more or less the same wherever you go. What you see is concentration. You see people making a joint effort. You see gratitude. You see fun. And this really makes me happy, because when people like to do something, they're probably want to go on doing so. And this, of course, is exactly what we like them to do. Every now and then I try to measure the impact of Repair Café on the environment. And for this I use a calculation method based on experience of the last few years, which is that an average Repair Café group organizes 1 meeting per month, at which approximately 25 repairs are carried out, of which 70% is successful. So that equates to 18 products being repaired at an average Repair Café meeting. With 1,360 Repair Café meetings per month, that comes down to over 24,000 products being repaired every month. That's over 24,000 products that... That's 24,000 products that do not become waste and do not end up in landfills. And going from there, we can make some more assumptions, which is that, for instance, in 1 year, the Repair Cafés help save 300,000 products. Now, that's all very well, but, and when I started Repair Café, I thought this is the solution to the problem of waste. No, unfortunately, reality is a bit more complicated, for there is another problem, which is that many products have not been designed to be repaired. You all know that. They've been designed to be used for a few years and then to be thrown away and to be replaced by something new. Repair is possible if you know what you're doing, but it's certainly not made easy. These guys, for instance, they're trying to remove a switch, but they're not succeeding. They don't have a manual which could show them how the switch could be removed without breaking the product. They don't have maybe they're going to need a special tool, but they don't have that. And if they break the switch, they're going to need a replacement, but they don't have that either. So what I'm trying to say is repair is possible, but you're on your own. The manufacturer doesn't help you in many cases. He could if he wanted to, and we believe that he should. We believe that repair should be supported in every possible way. So that's why we've started to collect repair data. For if we want to convince manufacturers and politicians that something needs to change, then we need data to prove it. So we're building a system called the Repair Monitor, which enables volunteers in Repair Cafés to collect data and enter data on the repairs that they carry out. And it enables us to draw overall conclusions from these data. Like which products are brought to the Repair Café the most, and is there anything to be said about common failures or about reparability per brand. The system is in a test phase now. It's being tested by 10 Repair Cafés, which have so far entered data on approximately 1,200 repairs into the system, leading to this top 10. So you can see that the number 1 product brought to the Repair Café is the bicycle. This may not surprise you, because we're in Holland after all. And on number 2, there is the coffee machine. 110 people in this test group came to the Repair Café with their bicycle. 69 people brought a coffee machine, and the vacuum cleaner was brought 59 times, and so on. When we look at success rates per product type, we see a different top 10. Trousers turn out to be the most repairable product in Repair Cafés. 98% of trousers repairs actually succeeded. Amazing. And on number 2, there is the sewing machine, which was successfully repaired in 86% of the cases, followed by the bicycle with 85%, and so on. Now, of course, it's not possible to draw general conclusions from such a small data set, but we've made a start, and data will become more representative once their volume increases. I have 2 more slides to show. When we look at brands, you see that in many cases there is no brand indication on a product, or the volunteer couldn't find it, or he just didn't take the time to fill this field in. But the number 1 brand brought to Repair Cafés is Philips, which makes sense because Philips is a Dutch brand making some very popular household appliances like coffee machines and vacuum cleaners, and those are typical Repair Café products. And the last chart that I would like to show you ranks brands according to their the success rate in Repair Cafés. Now on top, the 2 ones on top, they are bicycle brands. And then there are some household appliances brands, and below at the bottom there are 2 electronics brands. Now this chart basically shows that electronics are much less often successfully repaired in Repair Cafés than bicycles and small household appliances, which could indicate that repairability of electronics could be improved. Now this is a feeling that we all have already, but data like this can help to prove it, and also they can help convince parties involved that something needs to be done about that. Now, that's why we look forward to working with the Restart project and other partners on the subject of data collection, so that collectively we can save a lot of waste, we can prevent waste, we can improve repairability of products, and we can stimulate repairers around the world to keep on doing their great work. And I think Fixfest is a wonderful occasion to show how much fun repairing can be. And I hope you'll all enjoy this weekend. I know I will, and thank you very much for your attention.